Okay, here we go. How you doing?
Hey Nate, how are you, man?
I'm good. I mean that. I'm not
Oh
lying.
yeah, good.
I was thinking this morning about. I was actually talking about it
Yeah.
to
Most of
just
the
my.
time when we say it, right, it's like I'm good, right? We fucking lie.
I was lying to
Yeah.
people at work all week. They're like, "You good?" And I finally told somebody the other day. I was like, "I'm not super good," and then today I was fine again. Um, yeah, we're all pretty full of shit. We've talked about that, but it's super
Yeah,
true.
of course, right? And today is February 14th, right? Valentine's Day. And
Exactly.
you have a very recent breakup, which totally
Ugh.
fucking sucks, right? And my
Yeah.
breakup is not recent, but it still sucks, you know?
Yeah, I thought that would be an interesting reason to kind of. That's one of the reasons I reached out today. I thought it would be kind of
Yeah.
a unique experience to try to kind of talk about that on a day that's super lost for a lot of people. And it's super recent. And I'm sure yours still feels recent because that's like the nature of.
Yeah, I mean, it comes and goes. Yeah, and yesterday, actually today, some stuff reminded me of that, and it felt like,
Yeah,
pretty painful.
it's like, I don't know what that is. It's like,
But
um,
you know what? Like one thing I wanted to mention also, right? It's human brains. They kind of really they try. They're really good at concepts, right?
yeah.
So then they take this particular day, February 14th, and then they make it something very special, right? And it becomes, oh, but why? Today everybody's happy and I'm not, right? It's like so much bullshit because like, okay, what's so special about today? Some people decided this, like, okay, some people decided not to, right? And
Yeah.
but I mean, we can do this stuff. We do this stuff. Our mind, our brain, whatever, does
Yeah.
it all the time. It's like, oh, today is the anniversary. It's so hard, right? It's like, I mean, it's hard, okay, right? We don't need to find a special reason because here's the thing: when the brain finds that special reason, what it does, it tries to help. It kind of tries to find a way to help us find a way to stop the discomfort.
Yeah.
But usually what happens is the opposite. It's like we find a way, it's like, oh, today is like our anniversary, or like it's 100 days. It's like whatever the fuck. The brain can always find some reason. And once it finds that reason, it's like, oh, now I understand why, I feel sad or whatever, right? And and since the reason is there, it kind of gets into this loop.
Yeah.
And maybe without that reason thinking, the emotion would have dissipated already. But now the brain is like, okay, I feel discomfort. Why? Oh, okay. Today is like 123 days since we had this picnic in Paris or whatever the fuck,
Right.
right? Oh, now I know. And it's like, oh, this means that today I'm going to be sad, right?
Yeah.
And kind of is stuck in that loop because without that thought, like the emotions, they're like waves, right? They come, they go, they
Yeah.
come, they go. It's a constant flow. But when the brain finds those reasons and understanding, it gets really stuck in that. So that's kind of one way I think about it.
100%. We're all fucking insane. Like we forget that it's just like a normal.
I mean, at least you and me, right?
It's Friday. Like it's just a Friday. And like, yeah, I think about that a lot. Like my brain stops like, oh, concept, story. And
And
it's
Friday is yet another concept.
exactly. And that's like, it's an interesting, it's like a nonstop loop of bullshit traps. Like Valentine's Day,
Yeah,
no, it's
yeah,
Friday. Well, actually it's the start of the weekend.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
it's like this whole thing of like reward and risk, but it's like just entertainment. We're just
Yeah.
entertaining ourselves from this kind of like other concept that may or may not be
I mean,
true.
good brain, it tries to
Yeah,
help, it
it's
tries, right?
trying. It's
But it's
trying. You
like,
have to like stroke it and pet it and get it to shut up sometimes to like
yeah,
whatever, but we're just like still floating through space on something that we've conceptualized as a planet in this place that we've conceptualized as space. And we're just telling
yeah,
ourselves it's Friday and it's Valentine's Day.
yes,
My
yeah,
heart's broken because of that. But
right.
I felt like worse yesterday. I can't fucking talk now. I felt worse yesterday than I do today. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
it's and that's something that helped me notice it this morning. I was like, that's like
right. But I mean,
and
notice
you're right,
this
like,
too,
fuck
right?
Valentine's Day.
Even if you
No.
try to notice how did I feel today at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., whatever, right? Like it was all different, right? But the
Yeah.
mind then simplifies it. Today I felt like blah.
Yeah,
And
it's
then we're
like
like, this month I
anything.
felt like blah, this year I felt like blah. Well, you know what? Like you felt like this.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I remember being like 18 sitting in the DMV and it dawned on me as like, oh, like I'm gonna be doing this when I'm like 80 and I'd be sitting in the DMV going like, fuck, I wish this would hurry up so I can get out of the DMV.
I mean,
And then I'm gonna be
maybe
sitting
you'll
in
have
bed one
dementia,
day.
right? And you'll be in a
Yeah.
home. So,
And every night you sit in bed like, okay, it's bed, and like you're gonna do that. You could be 100 and you're be laying down like, okay, it's bed, and it's like it was kind of fucking with me, and I
yeah,
don't know. It used to literally drive me insane,
yeah,
and maybe that's a
yeah.
good thing because now I notice it all the time, and I'm like, okay, well, I can like divorce myself from this feeling because it's actually like something I'm putting on myself based on this concept
Yeah, I
that
don't think you can divorce yourself from the feeling because that's just like a feeling. And when it's there, right? It becomes yet another story. I
yeah,
can
the self
divorce myself
improvement.
from the feeling,
Yeah.
no, fuck you, you can't, right? And I mean, you can try many different things,
Yeah.
right? You can try having some water, tea, coffee, breathing, meditation, taking a walk, going to the gym, right? And some of this, and at some point, your state will change because your state always changes, right? It's never constant, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as it changes, the brain's like, I did it. I know that I did it, right? And,
Yeah.
did you really? Like, yeah, I mean, like a baby, you can try many different things and,
Yeah.
eventually, randomly, your state changes and the brain then kind of associates that. And
It all
sometimes,
turns to pain. For me,
yeah,
it all turns to pain because boredom. Boredom
yeah,
is a form of pain to me, at least. And it's
yeah,
like
yeah, of course, of course.
everything I do, eventually I'm like bored as fuck with it. So, like, no matter what my desire or my passion or anything is, it always turns to pain. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic or like fatalist. I'm just saying, like, maybe that's our body and brain's way of like keeping us just
I mean,
doing
that's
stuff.
one of their insights of Buddha, right? Like,
Yeah.
life is dukkha, suffering.
Yeah,
It's
it's fucking crazy. It is crazy though. Like, yeah, because when I was younger, I was like, not like I'm like old or young. I'm just saying like when I was like a few years ago, I'd like think about that stuff and all these philosophies and things, and I didn't really feel them, but I knew what they were saying. And now like
yeah,
I'll sit and I'm like, oh yeah, it does all lead to this kind of like suffering feeling, no matter what it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
But then you just pick a new thing, which is like non-suffering, and just morphs into suffering, and it's like it is like a cycle. You just kind of
yeah.
like pass this like point of non-suffering and this point of suffering
Yes,
in
yeah,
this like imaginary loop that we live in.
yeah.
And yeah, I think maybe it's the brain's way of like conceptualizing like creating a concept of time and space for us too. Like we have to have this kind of minutia mixed with this fucking volatility and that gives us like this experience or something and we're able to like like kind of like create some reason to fucking work and try and like stay alive or something.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, look at an animal in the forest, right? Like it's
Yeah.
constantly trying to find safe shelter and food and procreate and whatnot, right? So it's kind of like that state of seeking, if you will, right? Like,
Yeah.
so every being that's alive, that's kind of going through all of that constant ongoing process.
It's
I
like the
mean,
body is
yeah,
like a mammal that wants to die, and the brain is like a little octopus that crept in there and
yeah.
forces us to live against our will.
The layers of concepts in that statement, right?
I
Like,
know it's so fucking funny.
your will and, forces.
It's so much bullshit. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. It's still a fun reflection.
But like back to the original concept of the breakup,
Yes.
it's like it is extremely fucking painful and I've been doing like this whole like I'm trying to have more fun in life thing, but I know it's a distraction from like there's clear pain. And then
And why the fuck not, right? Why
yeah,
not distract yourself?
exactly, because it is genuinely fun, and I've been actually
Yeah,
having like a
yeah,
good time. So it's
yeah.
something positive has come out of it, which is like funny. Yeah. Again, like looking for this positive thing, but I'm okay with just how it is now too. Like I'm excited like that I don't really know what's happening. I'm kind of excited about that for the first time I think in a long time. I like
There's
not.
a lot of freedom in that, right? It's like
Yeah.
in that clarity, if you will. It's like, oh yeah, I don't know how it's going to unfold,
Yeah,
and
it gives me calm.
that's okay. This is how it is now.
It used to give me so much anxiety,
Of
and now
course.
I like that it's I it used to scare the fuck out of me that it didn't matter in a way, and now I'm like good. And then also
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, who cares? And like all the just layers of fuck it are just like heaped upon each other.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll transcend the fuck it at a point too. I mean, who knows? Because I know that's a layer that I'm like creating too. It's like
Yeah.
so
Like reflecting on this, like I've had so many transcendence moments, like, oh wow, I had this wonderful experience on inside, and now things going to be so totally different, like forever, like because it was so powerful, right? And
yeah,
then life, and then there is a new moment. Oh, now it's the true transcendence happened, right?
mm,
And eventually, the true transcendence happened when it became clear that there is no transcendence, there is no final insight. And all of the insights is just like a very natural, organic process of the brain.
yeah.
And why the fuck not? It's cool.
Yeah, it's like that I always think it's saying there's nowhere to stand, but it's like I see the positivity in that statement where I used to only
Yeah,
see negativity in that statement.
of course.
Like as
Totally.
in you're falling and there's nothing to catch
Mm.
you, but
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
there is no falling either. And that's like I think the part there's no catching or falling. It's like
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think like it's a different thing now. And even if that's not it, at least it feels like positive, whereas before it just felt like kind of dark or something.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
regardless of concept, that's still painful. And I
Yes.
feel it. So so it's like and that's the one thing I know about like a breakup or all these things. It's like even if you know it's like a story or a concept, like it still fucking hurts and people
Of
want to
course.
that
It
pain
doesn't help. All of
themselves.
this knowing is like, okay,
Yeah.
you can know it and who cares, right?
Yeah.
Sadness happens, grief happens, despair and helplessness.
Exactly.
I've been there, man, and like it comes and goes, and why the fuck not?
Yeah, it's there's no reason not to. I don't know. I do like that saying. It's better to like love than lost because like I like
we
experiencing.
we kind of try to find peace in those concepts. Oh, it's better this, it's better that. Like, who cares what's better? Like, who decides? Like, this is what you feel right now, right? This is what you feel. This is the truth, and then you have thoughts like,
Yeah,
but I like, and the honest answer is like, you don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's all right or fuck
yeah,
or who cares.
exactly. All of it, all of it. It sucks. It's all right, and who cares? And
Yeah,
simultaneously, yeah.
but I guess for anybody that's curious, it was like a 5 year relationship where this has happened once before, where she's left me before, and it was my fault, and this time it's my fault again, obviously. So I think at some
Is it?
point, yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
I
that's
don't
a pretty
care.
painful story, right?
Yeah,
And you
it's
can,
that
yeah, again, like,
story.
we can try to assign fault to ourselves. We can
Yeah,
assign fault to another person. I will say this: the truth is like, this is just like everything had to be the way it was for that thing to unfold the way it did, right? It's like, you had to be the way you were, the person had to be the way they were, the circumstances of what was happening, like, I don't know, COVID and Ukraine and Trump and crypto and NFTs and, everything, right?
it's a
So,
tornado.
yeah, exactly. All of that. So you're like, of course you can create a story that, oh, I know why this happened. It was me and, I was wrong. And now you can embark on this new journey, like, now I will make myself so much better. I will be great and I will find eternal happiness. And I'll say, fuck you, you will not, right? And
Yeah,
it's not a problem. It's just like, it's not something to be found in the
yeah,
future.
yeah,
It's here right now, but it's not like the way that the mind imagines that it can be,
yeah.
that it
It's
will be
illusion.
bliss and, vibration and
Yeah,
no, it's like, it's exactly all of this happening all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. I don't even fucking meditate anymore.
Yeah,
I have friends. Do you have friends that go like, "Oh man, that's like they're almost disappointed in you," and you're like, "What are you talking about? Are you like you don't do yoga or something?" And they're just like,
right.
"You should do this. You should." Like,
Yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
we both know this one guy. I'm not gonna say his name. 'Cause I don't want to be well. I'm probably being an asshole right now. Whatever. I already started saying. He's always you have to do yoga, and I'm like,
Right. Yes.
like why the fuck do I have to do yoga? I've stretched. I don't. I get the benefits, but I just
And you will do
it's
yoga, and then you will maybe at some point will feel better, but at some point you will feel worse, and then you can try. But no, now you have to be vegan. Well, and now you have to whatever.
it
And
never
again, like
stops,
at
man.
some point you will feel something else, and it's like, oh, I'm having impure thoughts or whatever, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like so much hassle, and you still kind of get back to the same point of where you are right now, the point
yeah,
of being human and experiencing stuff and getting sick and going through some really intense experiences.
that's the other thing. I got sick right after the breakup, and that shit
Of
makes
course,
me
yeah,
so emotional. I was like,
yeah,
oh man, I'm gonna fucking kill myself or something. And then I was like,
mm,
That's not even true. Like I just feel crazy. Like it's not
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Was it weird when I said that about that guy? Do you care?
No,
I'll cut it out if you care. I'm just kidding. I would hate to do that. I like being real.
yeah, no, all good.
All right. Yeah, dude, I just fucking hate when people are like, you have to.
Yeah, I mean, because they trying to convince themselves that they found
Yeah.
the way,
And
right?
it's always
And they
something.
have not, right? And then
Yeah.
they desperately like trying then to convince everybody else, like, okay, you know what? Like if I'm at peace, I'm great, whatever. If everybody else would do this, then we will all be at peace and it will be so awesome. It,
Yeah.
it's so hard to control the whole universe.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like somebody always has something that that they won't shut the fuck up unless you like almost send them a video of you doing the thing or something. It's like what do you want me to do? Like I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Like if I kept telling you you got to do art because it'll make you feel you'd be like
right.
I think I did that a few times. I could sense at one point you're just like, man, you're doing that thing that you do, like that people do. Like stop it.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I found so much freedom. At some point, it became very easy for me to just like tell people like, yeah, this is what I want to do and this is what I don't want to do, right? Like this
Yeah.
is my freedom, right? And I don't need to explain it to myself or to you to convince you that this is right. It's not right, it's not wrong. It's just the way I currently feel. This is it. It's
Yeah.
so simple, right? And actually there is so much love in that because I also don't ask you to convince me or explain to me that you're doing things correctly, you're doing things right, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
if you prefer to do yoga or meditate, awesome, right?
Exactly.
Or if you prefer not to, yeah, of course. Like, this is your freedom, right? And then my freedom, my preference can be absolutely totally different, of course, because you're not me, I'm not you.
Yeah.
But us being different, we still two humans, and
I like that part. I like that we're
yeah,
different. I don't want people to be the same as me because I mean I'm not I don't even hate
it would be
myself.
cool to have
Just
a clone of myself. Actually, that would be fun.
I'm not all right. You're winning me over. It could do all my
You know what?
bullshit.
I don't know if they can do a biological one, right? But I'm thinking in a few
Right.
years, you probably can get a pretty decent humanoid robot, right? And then you can load one of those LLMs into that. And that LLM
For
can,
sure.
by talking to you, learn to imitate you, right? So that thing can become a pretty good imitation of your responses, So, yeah, anyways,
No, I
we'll
love that.
see.
I remember you joked once about having like live dinosaurs running around your house or something. Like you made this joke,
Right.
and I was like, that would be fucking
They
amazing.
probably poop too much. I don't know about that.
They would shit everywhere. You could not train
Yeah.
a my cat to do a litter box at all.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck. I've been following your lead actually because I noticed like if we text or something, I have this tendency to like overdo it, like hey, what's up, like kind of bullshit, and and a lot of people do that, and you don't do that as much. But I never get the sense that you're being like pushing me off either. You're just like, hey man, like yes or no, or like, or
Yeah.
you react, and I've actually been doing that in my real life too. and my life's easier, and people understand me more simply, like in just like a. I feel like they understand. They're not trying to figure out like why are you acting so fucking happy if you're not happy, or like just the weird energy that's kind of being sent by that kind of thing. I don't know. So I've been trying that. Less
Yeah.
bullshit. Um,
And I do want to mention, right, that it's not like there is a special correct way to behave.
I know. I know.
Again, like we're monkeys, right? And we
Yeah.
might notice something in a fellow monkey and we kind of naturally imitate that, hoping that like, oh, it looks like this monkey is whatever, like they have a better state or they have a better banana. So
Yeah.
let me try to imitate that and then maybe I will whatever the fuck, right?
Like I want a
So
better banana. So
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can fucking
A
talk.
better emotional state, better achievement, better whatever spouse, right? And you know what? Like, here's the deal, right? Like, if it's something as simple as getting a banana from the tree, you probably can imitate another monkey and get it, right? But
That's
if
it.
it's about achieving wonderful success in relationships and business or whatever, like, no, I mean,
Yeah.
imitate, why not, right? But your circumstances will constantly change and they will not be similar in any way to the circumstances of another human, and you are not
Yeah.
similar to another human, so it's
Yeah.
not really a sustainable idea.
Yeah. In
You are
that way that
already,
you're talking about, my brain chemistry seems to maybe always pull me back to this one spot again. No matter where I try to like kind of like expand, it's like rubber.
yeah,
And
of
I'm
course, yeah, yeah. We all have this kind of like, default configuration, right? We
yeah.
actually have a bunch of them,
Yeah.
and they usually, like, our emotional states change, and they stay based on so many different things, like the smells, their music, how much we sleep, how the bacteria in our gut are doing, what did we eat, what people are around us, and all of this stuff. So emotional states change, and the brain then typically have a bunch of stable states between those. It kind of can go back and forth between different, somewhat stable configurations, and sometimes that stable configuration is deep sadness or despair, and sometimes it's joy, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like meh.
Yeah. No. It's
Yeah,
um. I feel like we're at a natural stopping point. I don't know.
yeah,
Do you feel?
yeah,
Do you feel it? I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. Let's be stable in this point and stop.
Just
And
stop.
yeah, stop. Just stop it.
Just stop it. All right, I'm stopping it. Bye.